You know that feeling, right? You've got blazing fast internet, maybe even fiber optic, and you click a link, and it just kind of sits there,
Uh,
spinning.
oh,
Or maybe it stutters into existence, loading piece by painful piece. It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it?
definitely.
Okay, let's unpack this, because it turns out your internet speed is only, well, part of the story. Today, we're doing a deep dive into why websites often feel slow, even when your connection is speedy. We're digging into some really surprising insights from this article you shared, why websites feel slow beyond your internet speed.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how this source really helps you understand that, website speed isn't just about the bandwidth coming into your house. It's about a whole chain of events, really. And lots of things can create bottlenecks that really impact your actual experience of how fast a page loads.
So that initial frustration,
Mm-hmm.
it often points to something beyond our own setup, doesn't it?
Hmm.
The article reveals that the very first hurdle might not be your connection at all. It's the server where the website actually lives.
Hmm.
Here's where it gets really interesting. What's the key idea there, that initial delay? How big a deal is it?
That's exactly right. The crucial concept is something called time to first byte, or TTFB.
TTFB.
Okay. Think of it like this. Your browser asks for a web page, right? TTFB is the delay between making that request and when it gets the very first piece of information back from the server. So if that server is slow, maybe it's just overwhelmed with requests, or it could even be physically really far away from you geographically.
Right, like on another continent.
Exactly. That creates this initial bottleneck, that immediate lag before anything even starts to show up on your screen. It directly hits your perception of speed. It feels slow from the get-go.
That makes perfect sense. So the server's readiness is just fundamental. But okay, let's say that handshake is fast. What happens next when the data actually starts flowing in? The article really opened my eyes to how much, well, stuff modern websites are trying to cram onto your screen.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking giant images, big video files, all those custom fonts, pop-ups jumping out at you,
Hmm.
and layers of code like JavaScript, right?
Hmm.
It's essentially a really heavy load of digital assets and scripts that all need to download and run.
And that heavy load isn't just about the raw file size either. It's about the order things load in, how complicated they are to process, and whether one thing blocks other essential bits from appearing quickly. JavaScript, for instance, it's super important for interactive features, dynamic content, all that, but it can be incredibly demanding.
How so?
Well, it often needs your browser to execute pretty complex code, do calculations before other stuff can even appear on the page. That can create a serious bottleneck if it's not optimized properly. Imagine like I don't know, a giant moving truck that's just packed, totally disorganized. Even if the highway's clear, unpacking takes forever if everything is just thrown in there randomly.
That's a great analogy. And it's not just the website's own baggage either, is it? The article points out how elements we don't even really think about can bring things to a crawl.
Yeah.
All the third-party stuff,
Yeah.
the ads that load, the tracking scripts, figuring out what you're doing, those social media share buttons.
Right. Those little things add up.
What's particularly sneaky, it says, is that if just one of those external bits hangs or struggles to load,
Uh-huh.
it can actually hold up the entire page load.
Exactly, because these third-party things, they're hosted on completely separate servers. So if one of their servers is slow, or maybe the script itself is just poorly written, it can block the main website content from rendering.
Wow.
It's kind of like waiting in a long queue at a shop just because one specific payment machine is down, right? Everyone else is ready, but the whole line just grinds to a halt.
Okay, and then there's the final piece. Our own device, your
Mhm.
computer or phone.
Absolutely.
If you have an older computer, maybe a less powerful processor,
Mhm.
a weak CPU, as the article puts it, or simply, too many scripts running at once in different tabs.
Yeah, happens all the time.
It can frankly just overwhelm your browser and slow everything down, regardless of the website or your internet. So what does this all mean for us, the users?
Well, it really means that while having fast internet is definitely helpful, it's truly just one piece of the puzzle. This raises an important question, doesn't it? If your internet seems fine, why is this specific page crawling?
Right.
And the core insight here is that website speed isn't just one thing, it's more like a symphony. If one section is out of tune, could be the server, could be the heavy content, maybe even just one badly behaved ad script, the whole performance suffers. Doesn't matter how fast your internet highway is. It's not always your Wi-Fi. A lot of the time, honestly, it's the website.
Absolutely. And the good news is the article also gives some practical solutions, things website creators can do.
Yeah, there are definitely ways to improve things.
It's about being smarter with design, right?
Mhm.
Things like optimizing images, making them smaller files, but so they still look great.
Yeah.
Using a content delivery network, a CDN, which basically means storing copies of website stuff closer to you geographically.
Right, cuts down that initial TTFB we talked about.
Exactly. And minimizing how much JavaScript is needed, reducing its processing demands, and just choosing better, more responsive web hosting in the first place. So I guess the final thought here is the next time a page lags on you,
Yeah.
understanding these underlying factors, it kind of empowers you, doesn't it? You have knowledge beyond just blaming your internet connection.
Definitely.
Now you know there's a whole lot more happening behind the scenes. And, well, that understanding might just change how you perceive the whole web experience. Something to think about.